know he's cooking up some good stuff.
Yeah, especially when he pops into like the European server, ESL Open Cups, right? And he's just like, he takes some names in those, and you're like, oh man, like, you know, he's playing with a ping disadvantage. He's looking good. You know, he is absolutely one to watch out for. Definitely could be a contender to kind of make a deep run. And obviously looking to make playoffs today is in the top right from the Platinum Heroes. It is Firefly.
And spawning over here in the bottom left as our blue Protoss today, it is Jieshi.
Definitely.
No low ground, one gate fast expands going on here. Obviously, it's one of those maps that does not have a ramp up to the natural, but also I've heard Protossers these days saying that it's kind of a suicide build unless your name is
Max Pax.
well, starts with an M and ends in a Axe Pax.
You can say his name, Ben. It's okay. He's not Voldemort.
I certainly can. I just wanted to say it cool. I mean, for all intents, but I mean, he could be. Anyway,
actually, yeah, you're right. He could be. But no, it's.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
It's very true though. Like everyone else that tries to do this low ground stuff is kind of just dies. I've seen Astrea mess with it a few times over, and he does okay. But like the level of success is nowhere near as consistent as what MaxPax finds with it. And MaxPax just seems to have this understanding of the matchup and the ability to control at a very high level consistently. I think that's what it comes down to. Like a lot of people have tried to copy what MaxPax does, but he just controls and makes the very small decisions that are very important very quickly and very often very correctly. And sometimes it still goes wrong. We saw MaxPax Skillers yesterday, like, you know, Skillers took a game off him where he tried to expand quickly on Raduset, which even has a ramp. And just a couple things went slightly wrong, and, you know, even MaxPax doesn't get it right every time. And then he was perfect in the games after, and that's the thing, it's just so hard to replicate that. I mean, that's why it's so impressive that MaxPax does what he does. And so, yeah, for a lot of the time, for everyone else, it is just 2-gate PvP. That's what we see here. And even 2 Adepts and 2 Adepts are completely mirrored for the first few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of losing to Skillers, I mean, saying like losing to Skillers, I mean, that's not exactly a bad thing these days. Not. He's absolutely he's absolutely pushing it. Kind of similar to Firefly in a sense, like absolutely becoming one of the better/best players in those in their respective regions. But here we have very different tech options out of these dudes. Like the double adept from both of them at the start. It looks like Jieshi is kind of sitting back with his, maybe hoping that he can bait his opponent in or something like that. But Firefly really hunkering on down here with his adepts. He's going 2 more after and a Stargate.
Yep, and he's going to get a couple more out Oracle probably on the way, and then you can have like a 6 Adept Oracle pressure. Can be actually pretty powerful. Just a Robo in the 3rd gateway here from Jieshi, so he's going to just say, cool, get myself a Prism, get myself a lot of units across the map. This can actually be very good against like 6 Adepts, and we're actually going to build an Immortal first. Be very good against 6 Adepts and an Oracle, because if you just deal with those first Adepts, you're then going to have the better units fighting afterwards. And Adepts are usually good quickly, but they're not going to be good as the numbers get higher, so that's something that obviously the 3-gate achieves very quickly. And so I like this a lot, I think, for Jieshi. Just needs to not lose units early in the game, you know, in this position right here, for example.
Yeah, I mean, this could get very dicey. I mean, Firefly over here does get a scout, but there is no 3rd base on the way. And with 4 Adepts, it is enough firepower to take down this, but after seeing this army behind as well, nice catch by Jieshi. Will get an Adept for his shovels, and that Oracle turned up. And is it spotted by Jieshi just yet? 2 Adepts in the other base. I tell you what, Jieshi is playing really good this game.
Yeah, he's going to get himself into such a good lead. This is bad for Firefly, because he's already playing from kind of a bad spot with the build order, I think. And then on top of that, he's the one taking all the damage. So this really feels as though Blue Protoss is going to really find just a net advantage here. And, you know, you've got an Immortal, you've got Stalkers, you've now got the Prism. Going across the map, I do not see what Firefly does to defend. He's adding on a 3rd gateway, but the Stargate's not producing. He only just now gets the Robo. He's so far off his own Immortal. He's so far off his own Prism Micro. These are things which would maybe make or break this defense. And right now, he's just not going to have the stuff to make it.
And cancelled that natural that he was making as well. I mean, he needed to cancel it, because no way in hell are you going to be saving it against this army. But even the Oracle didn't get any damage done whatsoever. 0 kills on it, and it's taken some hull damage. And now, that's an army that you have to respect with Big Daddy Immortal in the mix, and going to start losing his production at the front here.
Yep, there's going to be CS Stalkers anymore. Going to knock down a gateway. And it's just going to be having the few Stalkers, a couple of devs continue to come on in. This Immortal will continue to fight. The Stalkers will continue to go. Super Battery is going to activate as I'm just going to be seeing our Prism loading up a couple of units. And, I mean, this is the power of what Jieshi has right now. It's very tough to push him back. I mean, I kind of like the Phoenix because at least the Phoenix can pick off the Immortal for a little bit. Maybe push the Prism just slightly. Very cool.
And back in Jieshi's base, Firefly is up to some shenanigans here. Does have double Oracle to deal some damage, but Jieshi with 3 Stalkers just patrolling his mineral line. Like, he's bulletproof back at home, and Firefly, he's caught in a real damn hard place here.
Yep, that gateway goes down. I'm just going to have ourselves... I mean, Firefly's trying to stay sword on the other side in case Jieshi just goes for the expand behind this, but... I mean, I guess that's a smart thing to do, but you still got to deal with the main problem over here, which is right now we're just sat here, dealing damage.
And now we get into that Cold War territory, where Jieshi can't come up this ramp, but Firefly can't come down it. And who is that better for? Well, it's better for the player that can't expand, but getting a pick from that Warp Prism, that's actually a really big deal. Like, I guess Firefly can see that little blur of the Observer with the high ground vision, but stopping reinforcements in this army and having those Oracles behind it, hey, Firefly has a chance of breaking out here, I think.
Yep, it does look as though, I mean, honestly, his army's been building up nicely. He's got a couple of Immortals himself. Now it's a question of how long does it take you just figure out a way down the ramp, because, you know, we do have the expansion on the other side of the map, so that does begin to go down. Prism coming up. And a Phoenix again on the way.
Do you see what he's trying to do with the stasis? Like, if he tries to stasis some Stalkers out of this, like that could be really cool. And he's getting a Warp Prism. Like, doesn't necessarily have to think about. Well, I mean, ideally you'd love to come down the ramp, but against sentries that's hard. But a Warp Prism will allow you to start working your way down in a different kind of way. And Jieshi's got no units to reinforce over here. Oh my goodness! It almost dropped out there.
Yeah, if that Prism went down, that would have been huge. Obviously, you shoot down these Phoenix, get your Immortal free would be amazing. The Force Fields are going to do a lot for you right now. There's an Immortal for the pick, and quite frankly, it does somehow squeeze past those Force Fields. That was definitely something. We're going to recall back home. I think Jieshi says, you know what, done enough here. This is getting dangerous. You're starting to kind of get to the point where you are going to kind of catch me. Let's just go home. I've got my expansion finishing. He's on a worker lead. He's ready to saturate this expansion as well. You can tell he's already looking to be in a very good spot.
He's in a phenomenal spot here. Like, the army that he has left over and the fact he's got this natural, fantastic. And Firefly, he was dealt a bad card in that hand, right? Or dealt a bad card in that fight, but he made the most of it, I think. I mean, it was real crazy. The Phoenix did their job, and, you know, he wanted more, but Jieshi was solid. Good force fields on the ramp, good target fire as well. He's got his natural setup behind it as well. He's just played good, and he's been very solid about not taking damage either on his economy. Firefly, it's going to be a hard game to catch back up in. I feel like he thinks that he needs to do something right here, right now, or at least very soon, because, yeah, he's so damn behind here, Wardy.
Yeah, no, he has to get something going ASAP as a couple Oracles going to pull back. Immortal on the way, Nexus coming up. Just got that blink about to finish on the side of our blue Protoss as well, and, well, that means it's just going to get tougher. He's going to kind of hide the blink, because now he can blink forward, and I thought he was just going to get the Prism. I mean, he might still get the Prism. He will get the Prism. I just felt like he's going to blink forward, kill the Prism, and then the Immortals are guaranteed going down. That got a little bit weird. It's going to be enough for GG's anyways. And Jieshi is going to finish up game number 1. That was just such a weird way. Like, he blinked forward and did nothing. And then in the end, he still kills the Prism. So, yeah, not so bad.
It was weird watching it, because I was like, wait, whose Phoenix is that? Like, the blink going in, but like the whole thing was kind of weird. I was like, what's going on here, actually? But nice by Jieshi. Like, Firefly, he had to try and do something so it can look... It's one of those situations where he can look a bit daft, but no, he had to do something. And Jieshi had a very quick blink online, which maybe faster than Firefly expected, along with that natural being up and running. Just a very, very solid play out of Jieshi. Like, 3-gate robo, just deflected stuff going on. Even the first 2 adepts that he kind of sat back at home, it felt like he was kind of baiting a reaction, or just like lack of knowledge from his opponent, right? Just the probe not sticking around to see what's actually going on. And Firefly went for 4 adepts, an oracle, which you ideally want to get damage done, but against a solid opening like what Jieshi did, felt like he read him so damn well.
Yep. As we are just gonna have ourselves a moment or so here, everyone's just getting ready. And we're going to go into Solaris, which is, I really do like this map. I feel like it's fun, it's aggressive, the acceleration zone's always fun to move through, you know, and watch units kind of just, you know, really eat it from one side of the map to the other with. So, yeah, very excited to see a little bit of Solaris. PvP, obviously can be a very aggressive matchup in the first place, as we just saw, so we'll see what this lets us do here as we take a few moments to get ready. And we'll be off and away, hopefully, in just a couple moments.
Solaris will be the next map, which it reminds me a lot of Ancient Cistern. It might just be the tile set, but like when I first played this, I was like, oh, this is cool, and oh wait, it's completely different. But yeah, when it came to that first PvP between them, very nice to see very different openings. Like, and I'm just rewatching some of that fight here on the stream. The two Immortals and like the blink forward and
weird,
ignoring
right?
the prism, but. Yeah, it was very weird, but very cool at the same time. But nice to see such solid play out of both. And it felt like, even though I came into this thinking like Firefly's that new hot kid on the block, but Jieshi showcased some very smart PvP actually. Excited to see what's out from both of them here going forward.
Yep, as we have ourselves in the top right-hand side, this is going to be the Red Protoss player. This is Firefly from Platinum Heroes.
And spawning over in the bottom left as our blue Protoss, it is Jieshi. And this is, again, a match that both players are at 2-0 in the Swiss stage. You need 3-0 to advance, or rather 3 wins to advance. So neither one of these players will be super sad if they don't win here, as they will not be out and will still have a very solid score of 2-1 in the group. And yeah, given that they've done so well, I dare say they're looking like they will most likely be looking to advance regardless of what happens. But nice to see very solid Protoss play out of this region. This region seems to be very heavy on the Terrans, very heavy on the Protoss, but not so heavy on the Zerg so far.
Yeah, no, it seems to be a lot of TP up at the top. When you think about Zergs in these regions, I mean, from China we have Silky, who's obviously not doing so hot right now, and then, I mean, from Taiwan, if I think of Zergs, I think of Rex, but then Rex didn't even qualify this season. So kind of flying the Zerg banner to me is like Mio Micah, but, you know, he's had great success in the C region, but didn't really make it last season, didn't make playoffs with this region last time around. He's currently 1-1. He plays nice today as well, which is a tough draw. That'll be coming up in a match or two. So, yeah, there's not a lot of Zergies here in the Asia regionals.
That is a tough draw, and it's like at 1-1 as well, right?
Yeah, so
it
sets the tone, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like, seeing Nice drop a series, he must have dropped it to one of the super sick players, be it like one of these two or one of the two players we saw before, which, you know, just showcases how strong they all are, because Nice has been a player that we've seen qualify to big events, take down really damn good players. I'll never forget that series against Rogue. Yeah. It was kind of heartbreaking to see him losing the regame afterwards, but that is the curse. But yeah, like Zerg players in this region, I remember like the olden days you had, in fact, not even that long ago, but it is, StarCraft has been long. Iasonu was like such a good Zerg in this region that did so damn well, but you know, I haven't seen him in a while, which is unfortunate because he was very solid. One of the ones really that European. Yeah, one of the ones that Europeans actually were like, hey, he's really damn good. When you go over to Korean practice, he's one of the guys that you run to a lot over there.
That's so interesting, by the way. We're just going to go for the same build again. 3-gate Robo. This is Firefly opting for, you know, 2 Adepts, this time into 2 Sentries. I feel like his issue is going to be that once again, he's going to start losing out on his initial Adepts, though, which is really bad for him because it's going to really be tough to kind of then figure out a little bit of what's going on. And his Adept's going to get the zooms, does not catch, is shading after. If we get over there and fight, I mean, 2 Sentries should probably make this difference. If you want to go Adept for Adept, maybe it ain't so bad because you're 3-gate Roboing.
I love that from Firefly, by the way, using the Adept Shade to block the Shade. Absolutely one of the only things that can block a Shade is your own Shade, so very cute play out of him. But Jieshi does get a full-on scout as to what's happening, and seeing this that he's up against, getting a Nexus on the low ground, and, you know, already got his 3-gate Robo on the go over here. Yeah, he's going to be looking to be very fierce on the map once again.
That's so cute if you have the Adept to block and you can get there because it just saves you a few minerals, right? It's just ever so slightly efficient. You don't have to place a battery. then cancel it, right? Which would usually be the defense there. Now the Adept goes down, so that's actually a really cute little play, like you mentioned, from Firefly. And there's a good reason to do it rather than just build a battery, cancel it, build a battery, cancel it a couple times over. Save himself like 50 minerals overall, which again, in these sort of games can make a big difference. As here we go with the big attack. And yeah, we are just going to send it as Jieshi. He's going to try and burst through. Someone that's going to try and defend on the low ground. Do love the Phoenix. If you can lift up the Immortal for a significant amount of time, which you probably can, there's nothing to really shoot down a Phoenix here. There's a very good shot of shutting this attack down completely.
And look at this army that he's crafted as well. He saw quite a few sentries in the mix from his opponent. So he's like, you know what? What's good against sentries? A lot of adepts. I mean, I still think maybe firepower-wise, Firefly will be fine. But, oh, 3 Stalkers joining the fray. That's absolutely what he needed against this. And that is a lot of adepts. And getting caught out here on the first little skirmish. And Firefly did save his shield battery overcharge until he needed it. Still going to be very hard to hold, because so far I think he wanted this first engagement to go a lot better for him than it did.
Yeah, I mean, at least Super Battery is now about to fade away. He knows there's a Phoenix there as well, so you get some more Stalkers. I think targeting that Phoenix down is going to be very important. You do not want your Immortal to be out of this fight for long. Honestly, to take the Phoenix down, you're missing so much damage with the Immortal. Okay, you're just going to let the Immortal die. He does have Adepts to kind of tank on the ground. He will now get rid of the Phoenix anyways, but the Prism goes down, so you lose reinforcements. He's got enough Stalkers to one-shot through the battery, though, or close enough to it, so he's able to keep pressing forward, kills the Warp, and that means the battery can't get involved, and it looks as though Firefly just will not have enough units here to actually keep on holding. That was a wild fight. Interesting choices from Jieshi, but it looks as though it's going to come out okay for him.
And look at that, 2 Adepts in the main just holding position there in the probe line, and that is so much damage being done. Well played, Jieshi, just clinical here. Like, he didn't go for that Phoenix, but in the meantime, he killed like 2 or 3 Stalkers in the time that it took for him to take down the Immortal. And wow, that is a result that I didn't quite expect to be so nice for Jieshi here. 2-0 against